Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, The End of Castles. And I just watched the sentencing of the three men that murdered Ahmaud Arbery. Um, in honesty, I have not been keeping up with the case daily. I was aware of the case and wanted justice for his family, but I could not watch it daily. It shows a sense of pride, entitlement, hatred, evil, malice, cold heartedness, and just no remorse at all. In the process of the sentencing, the judge showed more remorse for Ahmaud Arbery than two of the criminals, the father and the son. I am not going to mention their names, and that's on purpose. They do not deserve any more attention than what they already are getting. And I want to turn and walk away from them while they are in pain, like they turned and walked away from Ahmaud after they had shot him. This case shows us as Christians, or should show us as Christians, that our work for Christ needs to be heightened. There is no time to enjoy the spoils while somebody else gets them for you. You are about to be washed away with the tide, and God is not the one moving the water. I want this YouTube channel to focus on God and His words more than any current headliner in the news, any current TikTok craze, current viruses, current nonsense that the world creates to become a problem when it is an individual or an isolated situation. Watching the little bit of this case has led me to scripture. Romans chapter 1, verse 29 through 32 speaks on God's wrath against mankind. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although they know God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, they not only continue to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. Looking at Ahmaud's case, you can say this was a clear sign of racism. This was a clear sign of what the Bible mentioned in that scripture. The devil wants you to think this had everything to do with racism. If you ever come to the realization that it is deeper than your physical race, you might get close to God's plan and realize your physical race lies only on the surface. When you see it lies on the surface, then you know and want to go deeper. And when you go deeper, you get the knowledge and ask God to show you more wisdom. But oh my God, if you ever get the understanding, you have found God, and the devil does not want you to find God. Seek him if you must. You are not a danger to the devil until you find God. Seeking God can lead you to finding racism and discrimination, and you stay there trying to battle them instead of him, the devil. Finding God is knowing if you can take a person to God, make godly changes within that person's life, can change other people's lives through them. Stop trying to fight the problem and love on the person one by one, and watch how the love of God can spread faster than the coronavirus or racism. I looked in my Bible and looked for the word race, R-A-C-E, like the color of my skin. I looked for that word race. Did I find it? What do you think? Guess what? I did. The definition of race is competition of speed or endurance. That is not the definition of the race we are talking about, or is it? Are we not all in competition with each other about which race is better or should be treated better? Enduring all the discrimination we are experiencing through the other races we are competing with? Satan can have you believing being black has more privileges than being a Christian. Another one of his evil tactics. If he can get you to believe your physical race is more important than being a Christian, then you have officially become his slave by making you believe your physical race should be appreciated like other races instead of all people needing to be appreciated and shown love. Question. When we die, do our race go with us? When we die, do our ride or die goes with us? When we die, do our sense of discrimination goes with us? When we die, do our hate for other people goes with us? When we die, do our lack of love for other people go with us? When we die, will we have the audacity to approach Jesus after we die and say, Lord, you see what they are doing to the black race. Why didn't you do anything? Just for him to tell you he did. But he could not reach you because you were too busy being hateful to people that did not hate you, even though they were not the same color as you. Racism goes both ways. The same way you misjudged a white person for hating blacks is the same measure of hate the racist white people had for you. What made you different from them? If you would have focused on me and my word, I would have shown you ways to improve the love, not just for blacks, but all people, without using the same hate they were showing you. Let me give you an analogy. Let me tell you what God sees. God sees a white piece of paper, a clean slate. Now, God writes on this piece of paper. Technically, he's writing on the tablet of your heart. But as you get older, you keep erasing what he wrote. You keep erasing his words and creating your own. God keeps writing the same thing because he cannot take you higher until you read and follow the last thing he wrote. But you keep erasing it because it does not fit with the way the world sees things. So you keep flipping the pencil over and erasing it. It don't look right. It don't feel right. It don't sound right. It don't seem right. So you keep replacing his word with the world's wisdom until you have a sheet of paper full of nonsense, looking like meaningful words, but leading you nowhere. When the word tried to communicate with you, you added more words and got gibberish. Your physical race should never overshadow the race you are running for God, unless you are running on the wrong team. When my race is over, I want to see Jesus face to face and say to him, 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. And pray that I will be seated at the Lord's table. And I don't care What physical race is sitting at that table with me? So whose race are you running? I thank you for coming on my channel, The End of Castles. And as always, when godly wisdom ascends, a new mindset begins. And you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.